Hey guys, it's me. I forgot to film an intro, of course. So today it's all about extensions. These are some of my favorite exercises that I think will be perfect to help you maintain your extensions or to help you get your legs a little bit higher during class. So let's get into it. So these are little leg lifts in attitude, and the goal is to keep your toes pointed and your heel lifted so your foot stays in that wing and you're not resting on your heel. Try to keep your fingers pressed into the floor, but lift through the upper back so you maintain your posture without leaning back, sinking into the shoulders. You want to do about 20 on each side. Of course, more is always welcome, but the goal is to try to have minimal movement into the hips and the upper body. Then moving on to a variation of the leg lifts. You're going to lift up in an attitude and then extend out through the leg to a devant line. The goal is to really hold the leg steady right at the same height. Extend through the leg and then back to an attitude, tap the toes to the floor. Same idea as the first variation, trying to keep the upper back nice and long and tall. We all know these, flexing and pointing through the feet, rolling through. But the main idea here is that you're keeping your legs engaged as you're moving the ankles and the feet. So you want to keep the backs of the knees pressed down and think the knees are pulling up through the quads. So you keep the entire leg activated and engaged while also moving through the feet. You want to do this both parallel and both turned out, feeling the rotation all the way up through the hips. The same idea with the posture as you were in the leg lifts. Moving on, so bring it back to a parallel position. Keep the feet flexed. You're gonna lift the right leg up and then alternate with the left leg, keeping the opposite leg pressing down through the floor so you're still maintaining that engagement through, if that was the standing leg, if you were standing up, and then lifting up through the top of the thigh. You want to do this in a parallel position as well as a turned out position, so you're finding both tops of the thigh muscles and the inner thigh muscles working nice and strong. This next exercise is focused on developing without having the weight of the leg. So you're going to lie onto your back, developing the right leg or the left leg, whichever you choose to do first, right all the way to a devant line, and then you're going to contract the abs, so bring both legs to an attitude. You'll flex both feet, lifting the chest up, pressing the palms down as you contract the abs, doing that a few times on the right and a few times on the left. Remember, you want to treat it just like a développé, so engage the bottom leg, lead with the inner thigh, keep the hips squared, and also stretching all the way through the toes. This next exercise, you're gonna lie onto your side, box out the top arm, so you're pressing your palm down, and then développé your leg out a la cone, so it's out to the side. The goal is to keep both hips forward, so evenly on the same plane. Think of doing little tiny attitudes. Heel stays in front of the knee as you bend the leg, and then extend out. After doing that a few times, you'll keep the leg extended and then just focus on the internal-external rotation. So you want to find the rotation through the hip, trying to isolate from the bottom leg. So minimal movement in the hips, minimal movement in the upper body. Think just the working leg moving. This is really going to help you find mobility in the hip while also maintaining stability in the standing leg. This next exercise is kind of weird, but I think it works. You'll find a seat maybe on the couch or a chair, something quite low. And then you're gonna send the legs out. Think of the legs being in a susu position, so still rotated. The arms come nice and wide so it can give you a strong balance, but then you're just lifting the leg up and down, focusing on the control and the turnout of the leg. This next exercise, find a seat onto the floor. You can use this with a yoga block or a tennis ball or something where you lift your leg up and over, but alternate side to side by moving the leg out to the side, hip line, and then moving it back right in front of you. The goal is to go up and over, so arcing the leg, creating that half circle, and then returning back to where you started. This next one is also kind of weird. For me, it's helpful to put something a little bit softer underneath my knee, so I just have a little knee pad under, whatever works for you. But you want to send the leg out in front of you into a devant line, so finding the rotation through the hip. Toes are pointed, hand to the hip, and then just focus on lifting and lowering the leg. Think light tap on the floor as you lower, so you maintain the engagement through the thigh and through the leg. Also, again, the same idea, you want to keep the posture growing as tall as possible, lifting through the crown of the head, the back of the neck is nice and long. Still the same idea as lifting through the upper back, so there's no sinking into your posture. You're still thinking of lifting the leg up and down through the inner thigh. You'll do this both legs front and then both legs to the side. When you go to the side, remember you want it to be in your Alisa cone line, so not directly side, finding your rotation, your best turnout. Still feeling the inner thigh forward, heel forward, and also lifting up out of the kneeling leg. So really try to challenge yourself to stay upright. Think long vertical line from the knee all the way through the side body up to the shoulder. Of course, always take a moment to stretch everything out. So really find this opportunity, once your muscles are all worked out, to stretch it all out, keeping your muscles nice and long and lean. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you back soon.